Disappearing acts have become a recurring theme in China. There is a history of well-known personalities vanishing from public view for days. Industrialist Jack Ma, tennis player Peng Shuai, and actress Fan Bingbing are some famous examples. All three of them reappeared in public after some time. In the month of July, speculation intensified around the whereabouts of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's hand-picked Foreign Minister-Qin Gang, who also went missing. He wasn't seen in public for more than 3 weeks. The minister skipped major diplomatic engagements, fueling speculation about what happened to him, both inside and outside China. Xi picked Qin as his envoy to Washington in 2021, even though Qin hadn't previously served as an ambassador, nor had he handled any portfolios directly related to China-US affairs. Considered a trusted aide to Xi, Qin climbed the ranks from being an envoy to a foreign minister in less than 2 years. An unusually fast promotion in a system that traditionally values experience in addition to political connections. China removed Qin Gang from his ministerial post in late July, just 7 months after he started the job. His tenure was the shortest in that role. No explanation was given for his removal. His predecessor, Wang Yi, was reinstated. On the 19th of September, it is reported that China removed Qin Gang from the position, after an investigation concluded that he had an affair and fathered a child in the US while serving as US ambassador. Qin Gang now remains under investigation for possible national security violations. Moving on, the most recent senior Communist Party official to disappear from public view is General Li Shangfu, China's defense minister. It's been 3 weeks since he was last seen in public, and there is still no official confirmation about what has happened to the man who is the public face of China's military. Li, along with 8 other senior officials, is under investigation for the corrupt procurement of military equipment relating to his time at the helm of the Equipment Division of the Central Military Commission, the military's ruling body, between September 2017 and October 2022. The incident is raising questions about the durability of Xi Jinping's cabinet, after Li became the second high-profile minister to disappear with little or no explanation from public view. The troubles involving the senior diplomatic and military officials, whose appointments were all approved by Xi, speak about the opaque and perhaps flawed vetting process that senior appointments are subject to under Xi's rule. As the CCP has moved away from the collective leadership of a decade ago to the centralized rule of Xi, questioning Xi's judgment has become increasingly dangerous.
Xi Jinping he began an anti-corruption move within the military as soon as he became Secretary General 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago, and it's just been a continuing problem for him. The fact that this is happening among people who were hand-picked by him, all 3 of those, the defense minister, foreign minister, and the head of the rocket force, were close allies and chosen personally by Xi Jinping.
In the first few years of Xi Jinping, China witnessed rapid economic growth, rising wealth, big spending on the military. In fact, it was the only major world economy to experience GDP growth in 2020, when its GDP increased by 2.3%. And then, with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, things changed for Beijing. In the year 2022, it posted one of its worst economic performances in decades because of the COVID-19 crisis and the US-China trade war. China's economic slowdown, which started in April 2023, became a clear indication that the country's post-COVID recovery ran out of steam. Concerns for the world's second-largest economy further intensified after the country reported weaker than expected economic activity data for the month of July. The data highlighted intensifying pressure on the economy from multiple fronts, prompting Beijing to cut key policy rates to shore up activity. Just before the release of a batch of July data, China's central bank unexpectedly chopped one set of key interest rates and followed it with cuts on other rates hours later, underlining the rapid loss of the post-COVID economic rebound that has shaken global financial markets.
I think Xi Jinping is losing his grip somewhat on the control of the economy and directing it in the direction that he wants.
Additionally, China suspended publishing youth jobless data, which hit a record high of 21.3% in June. The world's second-largest economy is also facing a crisis in its once booming property sector. The crisis has been gaining momentum since Evergrande, one of the country's largest property developers, failed to make bond payments in 2021, and the story is just not restricted to Evergrande. Many international companies are relocating their investments and Asian headquarters out of China due to growing unease regarding security controls and interference of Xi's government. An unfavorable business environment can plunge China's economy further.
Now, with the very strict centralization where very few people can give authority for things, that actually inhibits, I think, his ability to stay in control and to guide the economy in the direction he wants. He has implemented this foreign espionage act that is targeting foreign companies and foreigners, and so you're seeing a drastic downfall, a plummet of foreign investment, foreign tourism, foreign influence, and I would say foreign investment, and foreign confidence in Xi.
In February last year, 3 weeks before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin met Xi Jinping in Beijing. A joint statement by the two leaders announced that friendship between Russia and China has no limits. The two leaders have met more than 40 times in recent years. They have increasingly grown familiar and now refer to each other as dear friends. China has become an increasingly important trading partner for Russia. After Russia invaded Ukraine a year ago, Western nations imposed strict sanctions on Russia, banning imports of oil and exports of high-tech products. Many Western firms had cut their connections with Russia entirely, and its trade with the US, UK and EU countries slumped over the course of 2022. However, China's overall trade with Russia hit a record high level of $190 billion in 2022, a 30% increase on the year before. Russia and China have built stronger ties in recent decades, supporting each other on various global issues as they seek to counter US influence. The war in Ukraine has laid bare global divisions and partnerships. The West has armed Kyiv and sanctioned Russia, while China strengthened its relationship with Moscow. China has refrained from publicly condemning Russia's military aggression, which has drawn criticism from Ukraine, the United States, and its allies. But China and Russia seem to have forged a friendship with no limits.